What's up everybody, this is Forgo, and today I'm going to give you an updated version of the PVE list ever since the 7 Nights collab characters have arrived. A lot of people are curious as where is they rank in the game. Now this is going to be PVE, and the way that I look at my PVE list is how useful are the characters? How many game modes can they play in, and how good are they in those specific game modes? So that's how I rank my character listing as far as PVE content. It doesn't mean that I think one character is better than another. It just means that some characters are just more useful in certain game modes than others. So let's take a look at the PVE list. So here's the list, guys, and the way this works is you got triple S tier is the highest ranking of all, then SS tier is the second ranking, and you see I got the colors here, so you know what colors. So for example, Rock is SS, Guinness is triple S, and so on and so on. And then you got S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. Now I'm not going to go over this entire list. I've already explained my decision making, and I've already made a video about all this list. Not much has really changed, except now the 7 Nights are in here, and Mr. Karate, and Halloween Chris, and Halloween Alice. So those are the characters I'm going to go over as why I put them in the tiers that I have put them in. We'll start off with Rachel. Rachel is absolutely amazing, and honestly for a free-to-play character they have done so well. Not only she's a triple S tier character because she's going to be good in Reviving Hell's Dungeon. She's going to be good in Guild Raid. She's got a 3 PG card. She's going to be good in the dungeons. She could be good in the Immortal Nyx, especially the Immortal Rock, because you need Burn and Super Armor for that, and Red have the advantage. So she's going to be absolutely amazing for that. You could probably even use her in other Immortal Dungeons except for Immortal Typhoon because Red has a disadvantage. But she just has so much utility and so much usefulness that it's not even funny. You know, having the dot damage, the burn damage, Rachel's just massive. She is a massive character, honestly, considering that this is a free-to-play. Thank you so much, Netmarble. And again, guys, this is not a PvP list. This is PvE. All the game modes in the game other than Championship. League Match and Infinite Battle are PvP game modes, but you're really facing AI, so I really consider Championship, where it's player versus player, really the actual PvP game mode in the game. And then we have Mr. Karate. Now, Mr. Karate, some of you are probably wondering, why is he at S tier? Well, Mr. Karate is absolutely amazing. Freaking damage dealing monster, has the great leadership, the 60% increased active skills of red fighters. You can use them in Guild Raid. You can use them in some of the Immortal Dungeons. However, because he's a red attack, and this is why he's an S tier. If he was a red balance or he was a red defensive character, he'd be double S. Easily. And I might put him at double S anyways because he is so strong, and he does have a 3 PG card. He does have 30% PG rate in his cores, which means you can put max imprint stones on him without putting a PG stone on him, which really will help his damage. Another thing is he doesn't have dot damage. That's another reason he's an S tier. In KOF, dot damage is massive. It is massive. It really gives you a leg up in all the game modes, to be perfectly honest. You just are able to do a lot more damage because of it, especially damage over time. You know, that's what dot damage is, damage over time. And it just kind of lowers his relevance a little bit, and that's why he's an S tier. But I might consider putting him in double S tier because he really is just so strong. I mean, he does have bleed, but he's got to be taking burn damage for that bleed to take effect. That's the caveat to Mr. Karate. And if we go down, you don't see any more red, okay? Oh, by the way, and I did move Rugal down to C tier because he just, honestly, he just really isn't that good in the game except for the Halls of Element. That's really the only game mode he's really good as far as PvE. I mean, yeah, in League Match and Infinite he'll do alright, but he just really isn't that good for PvE content, to be perfectly honest, guys. Okay, Shane. Now, Shane is a S tier character. She's kind of similar to Mr. Karate because she does have a nice 3 PG card. She does have a lot of damage, and her imprint stones absolutely make her a freaking monster. You know, you can add 60% attack with your imprint stones for her. She has a nice 3 PG, but she doesn't have dot damage, and she's a green attack. So you can't use her in Reviving Hell's Dungeon because of her typing past tier 40. She doesn't have dot damage, so that hurts her a little bit. She would easily be SS tier if she had dot damage, if she had a different typing. I mean, that's kind of the thing, you know. And again, you know, my list is based on the usefulness of the character. It doesn't mean she isn't good, just like Mr. Karate. It doesn't mean they're not good. They're fantastic. But they're kind of limited in the bosses they can face. Another thing about her is in Immortal Victor, where she does have the type advantage, there's plenty of other characters that can do it, although I think a lot of players are still going to use her, but she's going to make things easier. But the thing about Immortal Victor is you only need Rio cards to max out the 500 million. That's really all you need. So you're doing your PG or ultimate skills more often. So that actually kind of lowers her relevance a little bit, because that's one game mode she'd had a massive advantage in, and she still does. But because of the Rio cards, it actually lowers her relevance a little bit. And then we scroll down here a little bit, and we have Alice. Now, Alice is A tier. And you guys probably wondering, why in the hell is she A tier? Well, you can use her in Reviving Hell's Dungeon past tier 40, which is great. And she does have poison damage. But here's the thing. She's a green defensive fighter. The Immortal boss, Immortal Vulcan, that actually takes damage from poison damage, actually is strong against green types. She'll have the disadvantage against that boss, so that actually lowers her relevance quite a bit. Plus, she just has a 5 PG card. She does have a good PG rate, but she's a good character, and she's a solid character, but she's really more of a PvP tune, to be perfectly honest with all you guys. I just don't think the only reason I even put her above Lady Geese is because she's a green defensive, and you can use her in RHD. That's the only reason I put her in there. I mean, and all this is subject to change because all these characters are fairly new and recent. And then we come over here into the yellow. And in yellow, I got Rudy as A tier. Rudy does have the nice 3 PG card, but again, he doesn't have any dot damage. PvP-wise, he's top tier. Top tier. But in PvE, he's really good. He's strong. And the imprint stones are really going to put him over the top, but he just doesn't have dot damage. You can use him in Reviving Hell's Dungeon, which really helps him. But because of the not having dot damage, I mean, the boss that Immortal Most is the boss that yellow types have an advantage against. You need shock damage and explosion, which Rudy doesn't have either of. I mean, you can use him against other bosses, which would be really good, but you know, he really is just kind of set up. Again, because of not having dot damage, that really hurts the character as far as their importance. He's really just more of a PvP tune. And then we go into purple. Now look at Eileen. Eileen is in double S tier. Yeah. Eileen is a monstrosity of a character. I almost want to put her in triple S tier, to be perfectly honest, when it comes to PvE, because she does have damage explosion. So you'll actually be able to, she'll be really good against Immortal Nyx. You can also use her against Immortal Most. She won't have the type advantage, but you can use her there. And she has a nice 3 PG card. She has good PG rate. She has a freaking monstrosity ton of damage. Immunity, super armor. I mean, she's got a lot of damn power. And that's why she's triple S tier. And she's a purple attack. So you can use her in Reviving Hell's Dungeon, I believe in tier 41. So you can use it for your purple team, which is massive. Even use it for a leadership. I might end up putting her at triple S tier. You know, the more I think about it, the more I think I might go ahead and slap her up in there, because, man, she is damn strong. The caveat to her is that she isn't going to be good in guild rating. You know, and that's the thing, you know, I'm looking at all these characters of what game modes are really absolutely like. Guinness and Pretty Zero and Nameless are all good in guild rate because of their attack stats, because of the burn here. But she just has shock damage. You know, it's one game mode that you can definitely do work in, for sure. You can put her in there and do work. But if she had Blacken or she had Burn, I think her stocks would go up a little bit. But because she's so strong, I just think SS tier's good for her. I might consider putting her in triple S tier. And I believe that's it for the purple. Yeah. And then we have the blue. And look where Dellen's at. Dellen is triple S tier. He is freaking ridiculous. Because of the blacken, you can play on expert mode and guild raid, and he will do insane damage because of it. Also, he's a blue attack. So you need him past tier 40 in Reviving Hell's Dungeon. You need a blue attack team. And he's going to be good against Immortal Vulcan because he'll have the type advantage. He does have a 3 PG card. And because of the imprint stones, it really puts him over the top. I mean, all the 7 nice characters really got bumped up a tremendous amount. I mean, they're bumped up because, one, they have the imprint stones available to really bump up their damage. But, you know, some of them just have dot effects and their damage are just crazy. I mean, in PvE wise, they're really proven to be monsters. And honestly, in PvP, they are too. One character I almost forgot to mention, can't believe I did, is Halloween Chris. Halloween Chris is an S tier. The reason Halloween Chris is an S tier is because he's a purple balance. You can't use him in Reviving Hell's Dungeon past tier 40. However, he does have the dot explosion, so he's going to be good against Immortal Nyx. And he's going to be good against Immortal Most because he won't have a type disadvantage. He does have a 3 PG card. He does build up PG really well. He's a very strong character and has a good leadership. I might consider even putting him up in SS tier. But really, you can just use him as a striker in guild raid and not really use him as a damage dealer. I think there's other characters that would be better, to be perfectly honest, like an all attack team. And that's another thing that kind of lowers its relevance. So I'm trying to look at this from all perspectives. I'm trying to look at this as a well-rounded player and where these characters are really the most relevant. And, you know, there's solid arguments to maybe put Chris in SS tier. There's solid arguments to put Karate in SS tier. And even, you know, maybe even Rachel in SS tier or triple S tier. The only reason Rachel's not up there is because guild raid, you can't really use her on expert. I mean, you can, but she doesn't have blacken, and that's really what puts Dellen kind of over the top. That's really what puts him over the top, is the fact that he does have blacken, and you can actually use him there. You know, after Reviving Hell's Dungeon, I think guild raid is the next game mode that I would prioritize, and then the Immortal Dungeons afterwards. So that's kind of how my list is based. So that's my KOF tier list and my ranking as far as where the 7 nice characters and Halloween Chris and Halloween Alice and Mr. Karate rank. So let me know what y'all think about it. I will put the link to it in the description below. I will also have it posted in my Discord. So please join the Discord. There's a lot of smart people in there that know a lot about the game. To help you all out. So let me know what y'all think about the tier list, and let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.